Many dream of being a castaway on a desert island, but would it really be paradise? Joanna Lumley find out as BBC One's Girl Friday.
Good morning, Sergeant. I'm Joanna Lumley. I'm going on the survival course.
Not just like that, you know.
Sandhill! Escort Miss Lumley to the quartermaster's stores.
One bag holder, one pair of gloves, one jersey, one shirt, one smock combat, one trousers combat, one pair of boots, two pairs of socks, one head over, one pair of panties. Please sign.
When the BBC asked me if I'd like to live on a desert island like Robinson Crusoe, I leapt at the chance. It had always been a childhood dream. But before I could be packed off to paradise, I was sent to Purbright for one day's survival training with the 1st Battalion of the Irish Guards.
Plants, shrubs, roots, come in all different shapes and sizes, and varying thousands.
Another candidate for the course, sir, Miss Joanna Lumley, Company Sergeant Major Flanagan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Exercise Survival, Mick. Take a seat.
Thank you.
The 4 basic needs for survival are water, shelter, food and fire. The will to live is the overriding instinct, and we shall begin that process right now. Platoon sergeants!
C1 section! Number 2! C-section!
There are 3 elements to a fire. Any fat that's going to drip off the rolls, collect it.
Water contained within this bottle. One of the easiest methods. Here we have a method.
Shelter. Have a look to see where it's been.
2 trees.
Find out. You just look up there. Move on now. And again, as you can see the other side, and you'll be able to construct something like this in a couple of months. You've now received the basic instruction on how to build a fire, construct an improvised shelter, and obtain water. So all that remains to be done now is for you to put it into practice. So Sergeant McCulloch, I want you to take them away, get the patrol organised, get a shelter built, get a fire going, and get yourselves a brew made. And I'll be down in an hour and a half, and I expect a brew going where I'll have a little bit of a sample. Understand? Right, sir. Right, take them away then. Double away.
My finger's in. Bit of loss of blood on the leg or something. It started.
This on. Candle on straight away.
Alright, how's it going?
Paddy.
You got the old cup of tea on the go then?
Perfect. What how it's hot.
So here's for the moment then. You do a little bit more sugar out there.
I hardly had time to digest this massive information before we set off for our island. It lies about 30 miles off the northwest coast of Madagascar. The last leg of my journey was by helicopter. The crew steamed out on a luxury boat, which was to be their base for the next 9 days. The French pilot told me that the island is uninhabited except for the occasional passing fishermen, and is called Tsarabanjina, which means beautiful sands. I headed up the beach and waited for the crew and all their gear to catch me up. Now this is what I've been allowed to bring with me onto my desert island. First of all, my sacking, on which I've laid everything I'm allowed to take. Ground sheet, mosquito net, insect spray, sun spray, first day's rations, water and rice and stuff in there, torch, Irish Guards stuff, special survival kit, raspy thing to make fires with, SAS survival guide, some good strong cord which I filched from Herbright, my 2 tucker tins, my little drinking mug, my trusty knives, 2 of them, small one, big one, and a belt to hang them on, pair of socks, box of matches, good green string, stuff I shall be drawing on, writing my diary on. Oh, over here, shoes, rucksack which I'll carry around with me every day, short sleeve shirt, trousers, things I insisted on bringing with me, my 3 cloths. I never travel anywhere without a cloth, they're useful for absolutely everything. And this walkie-talkie which they insisted I had, so I can call them when they go back to the boat every night. And here is my own personal camera, its equipment, its tripod. There's only one other thing that I brought with me. There's my crew. That's them. And here is Dixie, who's filming all of us. With the introductions over, I set off to explore the island. Oh my God, this is itchy. Oh no, I think I'm going to cover up actually. I think I should have done this before I came. It's a bit dim. I think shirt and trousers on. Oh lordy, lordy. Lizard, I want some of these bananas. That's nice. Put that in my packer bag. And what else? Yes, lines. And I want yellow ones, because they're the ripe ones. Oh, they're usually falling off. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Look, a little arch. That's Marble Arch. Look at this. And those I know are the four brothers, because the helicopter pilot told me that. Les Quatre Frères. This is great. This is the north side of the island, so this is the North Beach. Oh, how lovely. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, this is lovely. I'm going there. Oh, water! God, look at that. Oh, basin. Isn't that lovely? Look at the tap, just pouring down. Look at this cave! It seems to be completely dry. It's absolutely dry as a bone. Tide doesn't get up here. It's fantastic. Look at that fantastic ceiling with all these sort of studded stones in it. This is as big as the Albert Hall. And from here, actually, I can see Marble Arch. That's just about right. It took me about 2 hours to slog right round the island. And in the end, it seemed best to build my camp on the beach where I'd left my gear. Boiling already. Now, where to camp, blah, blah, blah. Check your head for dead wood and trees. Center an edge of a wood. Noise over there. Something. Types of shelter. Well, I think I'm going to build an A-frame, which is a kind of 2 tripods which support the bed bits between them, and then underneath you can build a shelf. And I'm going to face out this way. So I've got east and west, and I'll be sleeping north and south, which is very good for the spirits. So I need long bits of wood. Two. This is so hot and sweaty. The crew were desperate for me to finish the A-frame before the sun went down. After that, they returned to the boat, and the island was my own. I mean, look at that, paradise or what? It's just been the most incredible day. I mean, flying over the island and seeing it from the sky, and it just looked so beautiful and so sort of tiny and white sands and so perfect. And then we came to land, and it was unbelievably sort of alive with insects and sense of flapping, and suddenly the helicopter had gone, and I was completely walking along the beach, Then luckily all the crew arrived, so that was okay. So off we started, and we had such an exhausting, I mean, it's a thrilling day, having a look at the island, which, having looked at it from the top, was, it's like a dream of, it's like an island you draw at school, you know, my favourite island, my treasure island. Got absolutely whacked making the A-frame. I mean, I think it just sounds so easy. A couple of tripods and you put a thing across like a hammock, and everyone goes, yeah, just make one now, you know, to have it ready in half an hour. It took me 5 hours, I think, to make that thing. So let's see what tonight brings. And let's see what's tomorrow's like. Tsarabanjina.
Joanna.
Right. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Well, it was not quite as I expected, because it was such a fantastic day yesterday that I didn't really expect rain, and at about, I suppose it was about 1 o'clock, I don't know, I'm guessing at the time, it rained, and so underneath this I just lay and got wet. I mean, it wasn't a hazard really, but it made me think that probably I've got to rig up this make some sort of a cover for myself. I've been tying all these little bits and pieces on here to make a little shelf at each end, because it's actually quite a long frame, and that means that when I'm in bed I don't have to keep getting out and trailing around. As I found to my cost going out to the loo in the middle of the night, sandflies don't care about which hour it is, and I just got bitten to pieces. So even though I'd got my lovely mosquito net, I got back in nursing a mass of bites, which was a bit of a hazard. So all in all, it was a kind of interesting night. But I have to tell you that compared with yesterday, this sky doesn't look too good. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a think about what to do. But this isn't bad, huh? This was sensational. This was the place to be last night. Absolutely gorgeous. And to be able to look out at the sea and just lie in here firm. It's as firm as a rock. I mean, thank goodness it took me, I know it took so long, and I got so whacked I didn't eat anything last night, actually. I was just too tired to eat. I got in here to test it out. I didn't get out again. And then the rain came, so I couldn't make a fire this morning, but I will make a fire later on and get some tea brewing up. The rain clouds rolled in, so we retreated to the end of the beach to shelter. Water's nearly boiling, even on this little fire. What they say is Indian make small fire, keep warm. White man make big fire, keep warm, collecting logs. I'm an Indian. Not yet a very successful one, but... Although it looks as though it's brightening up, I just don't trust this weather. There's a huge black cloud over there, so I've packed up my ground sheet and my bedroll. I've got everything I need in there. I've got some extra fruit. And I'm going off to spend the night in the Albert Hall, taking a shortcut through Mosquito Alley. Ah! That's the Albert Hall. Fruit basket. I think what I'll do is put myself down up here. That's better. I'll just rest here, sit the storm out. I don't know if you can see them, but that's the crew leaving in dribs and drabs. Everyone's a bit down. We weren't expecting rain. Okay, well here I am in the Albert Hall at night time. Storm absolutely raging outside. You can't see it anymore, it's gone pitch black. But it's lovely and dry in here. I've got a good fire going with some purified water, which is rainwater collected. Put a water purifying tablet in. That's gone in there with some rice and the vegetable stock cube. So that's going to be ready in about 3 or 4 minutes. And this cave, luckily, although it's uncomfortable, I mean it's very rough and a bit sort of shaly, at least you don't slip anywhere. So although it's dry, outside where it's still scaly and shaly, at least your feet don't slip, although it's pitch dark. Taken my shoes off, the dreaded fish feet, which absolutely stink. Taken the insoles out so they have a chance to dry off a little bit in this. And here we are. That sounds very good. It's not in the sea, it's the lovely dripping of the rain. It's very soporific. So when I've eaten my supper, I shall put my mosquito net. Not mosquitoes in here, that's another of the great things. Just not. A few little tiny moths came, but no mosquitoes. So I can use this as a mattress. Maybe pull one little ladylike piece of lace over me to sleep. And it's great, and I'd rather be here than on that boat bucking around outside up there with all the poor old crew having a bad time. I'm a bit of a bad sailor. Okay, that's all from Camp Albert Hall. Good night. Today looks bleak, rough, choppy, but still we'll do a bit of filming and we'll see what happens. I'm going to go beachcombing in any case. Well, as you can see, it's getting worse. I mean, look at it. And the crew's just phoned and they're not coming ashore today. So I apologise now in advance for the amateur photography, as today I will be the only cameraman. Good grief. Can you see that? Gorgeous piece of coral. That's coming back to the cave with me. These are the kissing rocks of Marble Arch. Originally, when I first saw them from the other side of the island, from the other end of the beach, I looked at it and I could only just see the archway, so I called it Marble Arch, because one of the important things about an island where you don't really have any signposts or streets is that for yourself, you have to try to make everything have a name, so that when you remember it, and you go, oh, it was there, it was there, it was there, and you remember it. So this is Marble Arch, but as I came closer, I could see that in actual fact, it was the most perfect carving, a statue of little bear pigs kissing snoot to snoot like that. That's the baby on the right-hand side. I've just had a seriously wise idea, because it actually hurts a lot to walk around the cave, because it's really spiky and scaly and like flint. And because you don't want to wear your shoes all the time, the fish shoes, A, because they smell so bad, and B, because your feet just never get a chance to dry out, but you can't walk around. What do? You take out the insoles from fish feet, you dry them out like that, you take your bra, and I'm going to somehow cut this and make it into little sort of shoes like that. And for that I use my sewing equipment from the tin, and I'll show you them later. having a strange old day today. The storm had gone down a bit, in that it wasn't lashing with rain, but the sea was fantastic, and so the crew couldn't land. They just couldn't get onto the island. I've still got this torch on. This is a very good one, because this means that, you know, it's directional, like a miner's lamp. The other thing was, I kept thinking my head, I mean, I know I haven't washed my hair or cleaned my teeth or washed or anything like that, but what are these great scabs? And in actual fact, this is a terribly loose kind of stuff on the ceiling, and sometimes when I bang my head, bits of old cave get stuck in my hair. I can't tell you what it's like not cleaning your teeth. If you're somebody like me who cleans them at least twice or 3 times a day. I've been doing sort of this trick which I heard Africans do. You know, if you try to get a special twig, and you all the wood I've been chewing, it's like chewing mahogany. It doesn't help at all. It isn't cold. It's just everything is slightly damp. And tonight I'm going to take a bit more care with my bed, because I mean, last night was exciting and strange and timeless. It's very difficult to keep any track of time. I haven't any idea what time it is now. I ate supper about an hour ago, and it was, I think, about an hour ago, and that was about an hour after sunset. So it must be about 8:30. This is a success story. Remember the bra I showed you and the shoes? Well, they've just become, I think, a triumph. So on that happy note, I shall bid you good night. Day 4. I mean, sunshine at the moment, but all the bad weather comes from behind those islands there, the north end of my little island. Sometimes you just can't see them. They're just in 10 minutes, they just disappear completely under a sheet of black rain. Very slim pickings for supper last night. That vegetable stock cube and rice was getting a bit tedious. And so I thought today that I might just go off and hunt for some food, see if I could, I don't know, pick something or dig something up, find something, vary the diet a bit. Foraging for food is an essential part of survival, and in any case, my pound of rice didn't look as though it would last for 9 days. Sweet potatoes. The vines along until actually are here. I'm in luck. Bit of a tree root there. Let's see what this one's like to dig into. Maybe the fishermen have dug this before. Again, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I've seen them in Sainsbury's. What a hike. It's actually just a great long tuber, like a carrot or something, going on and on, but holding on. Like stink. I think I've got to think of potato collecting. Actually, just to think of digging a much bigger and deeper hole. Also, I didn't know whether, like potatoes in England, whether you get one stem, and in England you get a massive little potato. Oh, I just snapped it. Oh. That's secondary root. Very thrilled. Take care as you come up. Washing line up here with some homemade clothes pegs, just because everything needs to get dry and flutter down there. And also you can screen yourself off if you need to, not that you don't need to. This is the kitchen here, kitchen area. These lovely bits of driftwood which came out of a ship or something, far too good to burn. So that's a lovely upright, nice thing to hang my mug on. Chopping boards, these were just old bits of driftwood again, nice to chop. This is my little larder, carrot, which I've had a bit of last night, my lovely little limes, my little appley berries, which I have one night tea. Delicious. But let me show you the tragedy of the bananas. In the bananas is no banana yet. So these, if I left them till they were grandfathers, would never have anything in them. So they look pretty, but that's all. Add a touch of green. Now this is the sort of most crucial area. Just have to do a little bit of work here on this fire so it doesn't go out. You have to just tend to a fire all the time. It's like a child who's sick and won't eat properly. You have to just tempt it. You say, would you like this little bit of wood? Would you like that little bit of wood? Stuff brewing up in there. This tripod I erect only for when I'm cooking. And this I completed actually today, which is my little ladle, because it was so difficult trying to get stuff out of that black tin to see if it's cooked or not. So I just got to scrape the coconut, scraped it inside and out with my knife, got it all away, smoothed this stick, made 2 holes like that, jammed it in, bit of string around there. The bra shoes are a huge success with this very rocky terrain in here. This is my bed. And at night time what I do is I just pull this out like that, and either the mozzie like that, or I have my cloth, one of these cloths which I just wrap around me and try to hunker down. It's actually incredibly uncomfortable, but usually I'm so exhausted it doesn't matter. Okay, now the last thing I have to do is to wash the vegetables, then I can put them into boiled. Supper. See it, that's the little boat coming to take them home. Little glimmery light. Crew gone. Last chap's being picked up from the beach. That's sunset. Well, what a strange day. I got incredibly dejected. I don't know why this morning. I mean, on most trips, there's always a time when you just have a bad day and you go, why am I doing it? It just hit me so much like an axe. I just felt utterly down, very, very weak. I find being bitten by mosquitoes and things all the time, and sandflies, exhausting. I rather lost my humour. Got into a bit of a sort of sad bait. I might finish this later, because what I'm going to do is to go and eat my supper and tell you what the yam was like. Okay, here I am for the second part of the report, just to say that supper was absolutely delicious. Those little tiny bits of yam were delicious. Unfortunately, I had such a problem with the fire that I couldn't get it to boil, and it took so long that by the time I'd sort of boiled it up, I thought, oh, that'll do. So they weren't quite cooked, but they really were very good. So I'm going to go out tomorrow and get a pile of those. Now look, I did a bit of smuggling. On the aeroplane, when I was flying out rather grandly, first class, thank you, I said, when they came around, said, "Do you have a drink, madam?" And I said, "Yes, some whiskey, please, thank you very much." And I squirreled it away. And then the next morning at breakfast, and I had some honey on my thing, I took the honey out, scraped all the honey out, put it in my coffee or something, kept the little pot, washed it, and filled it up with whiskey. So this is my contraband whiskey. And as today's been just a tad gloomy, I'll just have a... Sorry, we are talking a seriously great moment. It's a really lovely time to draw things because after the storm all the flowers have come out. These lovely little, I think they're orchids, I know there's a name for them but I've forgotten it. These little purple ones, these which I'm sitting on round here. And a cricket came and sat just long enough for me to draw him. Everything just seems to be blooming. The birds have come back, those lovely crows. It's lovely. Nice and bright. Nice and dry. I can sit outside and draw. Stone from the creek. Great treats. We've ventured into dreaded Mosquito Alley again. Once in shorts is enough. This time I wear long everything. You see, the thing is, I don't think the weather's going to change, and I don't think that the storms are over. And I don't think I can sleep on that terrible hard rock again without some sort of a mattress. So what I'm going to do is to just try to... Remember what the mix told me, you don't cut into your leg. I'm going to try to make a mattress. Put on something different for you tonight. I put on my green shirt back to front to give you just a slight change of scene. But there's another reason for wearing all these long sleeves. For some reason the sandflies have come out tonight. When I got up this morning I made a really good fire, and I was going, yeah, cool for cats. Put the water on just enough to boil up a mug, the tea, got the tea in, and then I put one of my wooden ledges there where I do the fire, and I was blowing it up because I wanted to make some lime juice, sort of boiled up lime essence thing. And I lent on it tea, all the tea went down the leg, onto the 36A shoe. And it was funny, I wasn't really very depressed. I just thought, well, that's the tea gone. Once all the crews left the island, again, middle of the day, my island's mine. So I do what I usually do, which is take off all my clothes, keeping on the fish feet, bathing suit in one hand, fish feet in the other, nice stick, and I turned the corner, I'm stark naked, my stick and my bathing suit, and the boat, which all the crew was on, because it's been very rough, it had to come around more there. Behind a rock, one of the things, silly. Still sounds as though it's raining. It's not raining. I'm longing to get out of this cave now. Because you can't see the sky and there's no breeze. I mean, but there's only two alternatives here. Either you're in the cave and dark and hot, because it's very hot up there, or you're on the beach and bitten. I can't think what's the best. I can't think what's the best. Oh, I've forgotten everything else now. I'm getting a bit vague. Perfectly happy. Feeling really good. Feeling very good. C'est ça, c'est tout. I got all the crew up here this morning to look at the dawn. It's going to be another blazing day because it's clear as clear. Last night we had a good storm. It was terribly hot yesterday. Good fire, huh? Today the crew insisted I tried to get a coconut down. I'd been putting it off as I was finding everything very tiring by now. It does seem incredibly high. I guess all these are dead and gone from the fishermen. So... I better climb up and give one. Or get a stick, that's a good idea. Get a long stick or something like that. Ooh! Run like a sandlight. There's that... Oh, missed. Gee, that burst! Look, you could see the stuff coming out. It's cracked, so I won't be able to open it that way, but you can see, look. Oh, well, paradise. Isn't that great? Hoping that this gorgeous weather will hold, I've decided to risk moving back into the open air and my beloved A-frame. Now, I've got some supper cooking. I wish I could feel a little bit more excited about this supper, but it is yet again a sort of vegetable risotto, sort of stew. I've got some more nice little sweet potatoes. I've got some water boiling here. I'm going to have some rice, vegetable stock cube, and squeeze some limes on. Here are some yams, cut quite small, so that they cook at the same time roughly as the rice. Yep. I'm calling them yams. I suspect they're sweet potatoes. That much rice. That'll do. Another of these attractive chaps. There we are. I won't add the lime yet because it just gives you something thrilling to do later on. I'm actually bored stiff with this, however. It's supper every night. Give it a whiz round with this little ladle. Rather too cumbersome. But at least I can sort of do a bit of that with it, you see. It's already looking, as you will agree, pretty attractive. ho-hum. Everything cooked in this tin goes black, everything. So you eat as much rust and burnt, you see, everything just goes that colour. So it's a bit of a pity. Luckily in the cave I couldn't see what I was eating, so I just felt slightly queasy. Now here's the pièce de résistance, the little squeeze of lime. I wasn't given a spoon, so I decided to use the pink shell today. If I lived on this island and I had to eat this every night, I'd eat fruit. I'd never eat yams again, and I'd never eat rice. And as for vegetable stock cube, it's not so bad, actually. It isn't so bad. It's just not terrifically appetizing to look at. I think that's the bit that's depressing, is the black, the sort of squid-like gravy, which, as you know, it's sort of rust and old tins, kind of, you know, it can just make you just a little anxious. The other good thing, apart from the camel crew, if you eat your own, you don't care what you look like. You don't care where you chop it. The crew's getting awfully sweet, actually, because they feel sorry for me with my vegetable stock cube. And so yesterday I found a mango in my collection. Somebody had sneaked me a mango from their cruise yacht, where they go back and tuck in the evenings. And so today I put it in a cave over there, which is where I'm storing some things, my wet weather little cave there. And today, when I went to get it, a bird had gone, so I thought, time to eat the mango. So I just sat on the rock there, doing some drawings, ate mango. The great thing is, it doesn't matter how you sit with your knees any old way, it doesn't matter, you can just eat mango like that and just let it all fall down and just walk into the sea. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit because I'm extremely happy. I hope you can see me. This is Tsarabanjina. Those lovely birds, fruit bat. I must stop talking. I'm just extremely happy. Rocky bits like that. Lumpy hill there. And over there, so that is west. Now these are pyres. I can't believe that's right, but I might as well just have a little cut at it and see if it is. It feels as hard as nails. No, I'm afraid it should be gold flesh with little black seeds. So I have to leave that with the insects. Everything seems to be higher up. I should look for another. There's a slightly yellowy one. Oh! Could be a slightly mouldy one too. Let's see what that's like inside. Look at that colour. I'm not going to open it up yet, or shall I? Never cut towards your hand. There we are, black seeds. Perfect, perfect orange flesh. Best food in the world. The best food in the world. Okay, gang, you want some? quite incredible rain. It's now about 95 degrees in the shade. This is the middle of the afternoon. It's been even hotter early on. So I thought I'd make myself a parasol. The difficult thing is trying to find some way of making all those struts and spokes. And I had this genius idea of using this bit, which, if you remember, my mosquito net was round and is supposed to suspend from this. So I thought I'd use this as the sort of the middle frame bit. This is fishing line I'm using. And I'm sure it won't astonish you to hear that I haven't done any fishing. Because I don't fish. I don't eat fish either. Also, once you've been out in the water with the fish, you get rather attached to them. They come up and sit beside me, swim beside me, little white fish with beautiful tails. If we could all live off peanuts and avocados, I think the world would be a better place. And the other thing I'm missing is toast and marmalade. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that. That's nice. Okay, a little bit of changing of light here. There we are. Get into the picture, which I hope is about here. And we are, as they say, cool for cats. Well, here I am today, having had another of the fantastic suppers. I've got to say, it is a bit boring, the diet here. But as a matter of fact, it's quite good, you see. There's nothing wrong with rice and sweet potatoes and limes and the odd pawpaw. I mean, I'm getting all the vitamins and all the things I need. Well, I think a few chaps have got in here with me tonight. Off you go, boys. And in any case, the strange thing is I'm actually not very hungry anymore. Oh, sorry, we've gone on to disco lights here. Hang on a second. And the bliss of not giving a hang what you look like. I mean, just not having a mirror, knowing you look like death. You'll probably recognise these fabulous vêtements I've selected for this evening. Well, this is what I have to sleep in the A-frame, because having left the cave, there are just biters everywhere, and so I wear my interior clothes at night time, and although it's very hot and sweaty, it's actually better than being completely bitten. I also put on a pair of socks, if you can imagine. Ah, toasty, toasty. That was something tragic. All my shells or something gorgeous like that went down. Now, although this water is kind of not too bad, it's better to be safe. One nice little water tablet. Get it all prepared. And then put it in. And then in about 15 minutes, time, it'll be ready to drink. It'll be extremely refreshing. It tastes, in fact, like a municipal swimming pool, but you can always add a squeeze of lime. Don't scatter litter. It's my last night here. It's quite extraordinary. It seems to have flown by, but it's now my last night. This whole idea was obviously thought up by Robinson, you know, the Robinson Crusoe idea, and Girl Friday being Man Friday, and desert islands and surviving, and hang on, cool for cats. And could you survive? And I suppose the answer is yes, I have survived, although I haven't really survived, because obviously I've been filming and I've got a film crew and I've got radio contacts, so anything that went wrong I could have phoned for help. And I've been poaching apples, and people have given me little treats like mangoes and things. But, I mean, I am alive and I have survived. I arrived with a fairly bare minimum and nothing to keep coming washing up from the shipwreck. But Robinson Crusoe was also shipwrecked for 22 years, and I knew I was only here for 9 days, so it seemed really worth having a stab at all the things that survival seems to entail. That's why I seem to have been running around like a mad thing, having a crack at things, making stupid things like umbrellas, good things like cave shoes, necklace, ladles, matting, trying to do, you know, lovely shelter. Crusoe didn't have a mosquito net. I bet he wished he had. I've missed home, I've missed my people, but I haven't missed sort of what you would call civilization very much. I've missed washing the old wig. I mean, you know, forget it. This is coconut husk. This is sayonara, you know, bye-bye baby. And sometimes you just long to be able to be clean and dry, but then you stop that. I mean, my clothes are now beyond belief filthy and ghastly. So you don't mind. I sleep in them, I walk in them, they're full of salt, it doesn't matter. I've had them on for, what is it, 9 days? I can't think. That doesn't matter. If they asked me to stay on a few extra days here, or an extra 2 weeks or something, I wouldn't. It's been absolutely exhausting. It's been exhausting. But it's been completely wonderful. It's been so extraordinary. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Fantastic. It was a brilliant night. Rainy. That's ideal. I built the most enormous fire here. I went around in the dark collecting anything I could find. I thought I won't use a torch. That sounds a bit, you know, I don't want to. So I burnt my, what I call whale teeth, which are the big props I had here. I'll be very, very sad to lose this. It's my seat and the dreaded tins. Ah! I've decided to leave a little memento to the island. I've written this letter. From Girl Friday to the next survivor on Tsarabanjina, I, Joanna Lumley, leave you the SAS Survival Guide and the remains of my Irish Guard survival tin. Here also is an excellent recipe you may like to cook up in these tins. 2 chopped scrubbed sweet potatoes, 1 handful of rice, half a pint of purified water, tablets in the tin. Boil above together for 15 minutes and serve drenched in the juice of 14 limes. Serve on clamshell. Joanna.
And you can learn more about the delights and dilemmas of life in paradise in this BBC book, available now from bookshops.